We're on. Peace, peace. What's going on, world? Yo,
Yes,
welcome
Lord.
back to my show. I'm
Yeah.
going between Blog Talk Radio and YouTube. So as you see tonight, y'all, my special guest, you know what I mean, got the legends in the crib. I got my brother UG holding it down from the Dwellas.
Yes, sir.
Y'all
Dwellas.
know him from being in the cellar. And then I got my man Masta Ace coming
Yes.
from the
Coach, hello.
INC. And
Yeah,
we're
that's
about to get it in and represent that real hip hop. So now I'm live on Blog Talk Radio.
nice.
Salute, y'all. Check
Salute.
this out. If y'all gonna
Nice.
come on over to if y'all gonna come on over to YouTube, make sure y'all come through and check us out over there. And you can holler at UG, you can holler at Masta
Yeah.
Ace. We just waiting on Masta Ace to come on in here. You know, I got my co-host with me, got the lovely Life, the Oracle.
Hey,
She's here. She
Life the
about to
Oracle.
hold it down. Got her
Salute. What
questions.
you
I got
doing?
my brother from Raw Breed. I'm repping the breed, Raw Breed out in the BX, repping that tonight. And
Yeah, you throw my
you know,
goodies on.
we're gonna get it started. And yo, salute UG. Thank you for giving the opportunity to come on in, brother.
Nah, bro, you my family. You already know how that go. That's a layup, man. That's nothing. All you gotta do is let me know what time I'm there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. So life, I know you anxious, life. You
yes,
ready to
we'll dig right in.
blast off. So you go ahead and holler at UG and all that. And
First of all,
we
first
getting
of
it
all,
in.
You breaking
it's
up, bro.
it's love. That's what's up for coming on the show. I want to dig right in and start off with family. You know, um, and how you started out. Tell me a little bit about your uncle.
Hmm.
And
Kind of freezing,
battling.
Is
G.
the throat freezing?
UG,
It's
you
frozen.
frozen. You freezing.
Ah,
Oh, there go Ace.
Uh-oh.
Ace.
The God. What up, Ace?
What's going on?
Ace.
Master. UG, you frozen, G. Damn, you frozen, son. All right, you know what, UG?
There you go.
Yo, what
There
up?
you go.
hey,
There you go.
there we go.
Okay,
There you
there
go.
we go.
Yes.
We in here. We got well, I might as well
Ace,
start
what up,
again.
man?
UG, what's good?
I'm just
Go ahead,
trying to stay
Rayburn.
comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, yo, we on Blog Talk Radio. I'm streaming at the same time. I'm merging Blog Talk and YouTube together. So everybody at Blog Talk, come on over to YouTube channel. You can watch us live right now with Masta Ace, UG Life, Mark Live, myself. We here. Get your questions together. I got a couple of phone numbers from Blog Talk and also got the phone number from over here as well. So we ready to get busy. Like I said, Life, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go ahead and shoot off first. And you know, you had a question for UG, then you can swing
Yes,
over and holler at Master Ace.
yes, we were digging right
What's up,
into
Queen?
the foundation of when you
Mm-hmm.
started in family. I want to know
Mm-hmm.
about your uncle and going to the shows in the beginning and the battling. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Oh yeah. I was first, first before I even started MCing, I was just dancing at first. I used to live, well, I lived between Marcy and Canarsie. My uncle was a DJ out there. So every Marcy day, he was out there and good evening. I was like, oh, okay. And just seeing the people respond to it, I was, that's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? And then just growing up, I was dancing and and stuff like that, and writing little rhymes on the side. And then how it really opened up was I used to dance for this rapper named Gage. Salute to my bro Gage. I was dancing for this rapper named Gage at one point, and me, him, as him who was Star Child. His name was Star Child at that time, and Lord Have Mercy Moore, just MC Moore at that time. We all did a show together, and we was in the limousine and we was ciphering, and I kind of.
Yo. You frozen up.
His reception.
Got me.
All right, well,
I'm there.
look.
He's coming back. He's coming back. He's back.
I'm there.
Yeah, you kind of froze up. But,
Yeah, and
yeah, no doubt. We caught that.
Comic book. Yeah, I'm a big comic book person, and what I was rhymes from from the comic stand view. I used to Dungeons and Dragons. My next door neighbor introduced it to me, and I used to play. It was a DM character show, 20-sided dice, 4-sided dice, 6-sided dice, check for traps, all that. So let me put some verses and see how that sounds. So when we had that, I started the dark clouds form when I raised my staff in here, and and Phil put me to the side. He was like, "Yo, bro." He was like, "Yo, bro, I think you need to rap.
Word.
You nice with the dancing and the b-boying, but you should try." And I was like, And then I just we started knocking out the Lyricist Lounge, and that's when it all started. Once we got the
Lyricist Lounge, yes, respect.
The crowd respecting the verses, them type of verses at the Lyricist Lounge.
Yes.
Was a no-brainer for me. I was like, yeah, we going with it. And at that time, Phantasm and Lord Have Mercy Moore, they Special Ed, he was more on that. And when he heard it, he was like, yo, yeah, this is the way we going. So that's how the Cella Dwellas was formed. We locked them from there. It was over.
Okay, so the name.
Shout out to the Lyricist Lounge. Without them, it would be no.
Yes, big up to the Lyricist Lounge, of course, man. So your name, how did you get that name? Tell me a little bit about your name specifically.
Or the Cella Dwellas?
And the Cella Dwellas.
Okay. Well, when we used to be in Lord Have Mercy's house just all the time, playing NBA Live, Coach K, all that stuff, and rhyming at the same time. And he used to stay in the basement that sort of represented a cellar, looked like a cellar. So while me and Fan was making music, we was like, cellar where we dwelling at, and based on me dwelling in underground hip hop, he said, okay, Cella Dwellas, this sound cool. So that's how that happened. And then the name all came from representing underground hip hop. I just took the U from under, the G from ground, put it together, and UG represents a side fear also. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make them fear these lyrics. So that's how UG came through. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that happened.
Dope.
Right,
Now, hold on a minute. Hold it right there for a minute. Hold it right there for a minute, because what I would like to do is I want to throw UG a question as he answer that, and then I want to switch over to the Masta Ace. Now,
Ace, I don't mean to cut you off, bro, but I gotta salute Ace. He gave us our first feature. That For the Mind was the first record that we had on, and from the beginning, Ace showed us super love. It was never no. When we met him, he invited us to the sessions in Firehouse. We was playing Madden. We was doing all kinds of shit, and he just blessed us and gave us a platform, and he inspired us to keep on pushing, because he was like, yo, that shit is kind of ill. So For the Mind was like our first big feature. So Ace, I gotta salute you on that, bro. Without that, the confidence for the Dwellers, we salute you on that, bro. That he gave us our first feature, like our first joint. You know what I mean? So crazy.
Listen, y'all dudes was dope and different. And from the first time I heard y'all rhyme, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm messing with these dudes. I'm gonna put them on something. Like, just because y'all was bringing a fresh energy that was needed. I needed that around my circle at the time. I'm coming off Juice Crew and trying to kind of reinvent myself and find my own identity. And having young energy around me, y'all dudes was young, y'all was energetic, y'all was different than anybody else that was really rhyming. And it was and y'all was from Flatbush, so it was just like a no-brainer.
Yeah, that was dope, man. And I don't know if Ace will remember this, but this is how I knew. Like, this kind of catapulted me to say, yo, I'm kind of like there. Ace might not even remember this. One day, me and Ace, especially had a studio on Utica Avenue on the second floor. I don't even know if Ace remembers this.
Dollar Cab Lab, yeah.
Dollar Cab Lab. And he invited me to come with him there. So I went with him up there. We upstairs, and Q-Tip walks in. He was like, yo, they talking. I don't know if Ace remembered. They talking. And Tip was like, I wonder who the Cella Dwellas kids got signed to. And Ace was like, they go one right there. I was like, and the fan in me, I was trying not to be a fan at that point. I was like, no, but I was super excited. And from there, Ace is my brother for life, because he exposed me to a lot of stuff early that I probably, without him, I would have never been, you know what I'm saying? I would have never saw before. So Ace, like I said, I salute you, bro. You are a cog in the machine that helped us move forward, bro. That's for real.
Just to add to that story, I don't remember that moment that you just described, but I remember that day. And the reason I was at Dollar Cab Lab, and I didn't even remember you even being with me.
I was with you.
I was there to hear the beat for Crooklyn. That's why Q-Tip was there to play the beat for Crooklyn, and we was going to talk about doing this record. It happened that day.
Wow.
Wow.
See what I'm saying? So that's how you know I was there, because he walked in.
Yeah. Because I was only there that one time.
And I was there with you. That's the crazy part. That was the crazy part.
Wow.
Y'all tell this story in interviews, they was like, what? I said, Ace probably, he might not even remember this story, but I was with him. I was with you when I had it.
Wow.
No doubt. Hey, pause a minute. Ace, are you experiencing any freezing?
Nah.
Are you experiencing? Freezing? Anything? Do you see anybody else on camera freezing, Ace?
No. Well, UG was freezing early when he was talking earlier, but it's been smooth since then.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can hear me clearly, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, no doubt. So Ace, I want to throw my first question out to you, because this dawned on me, and I'm glad you told me to do my research, because already as a Masta Ace fan, already thought that I knew about you, but not all about you. But I saw that, congratulations, man. I didn't know that well, this might sound bugged out, but I didn't know you had graduated from Rhode Island University. I had no idea I saw that 1988. Now,
yeah, that's correct.
right there, 88. Take a look around. One of my favorite classic albums. The year 1988. You graduate college. You do your album. Let's go back in time, because 88, that was one of my favorite years. I was in the 9th grade. 88, I was in the 9th grade. Let's talk about 88, man, and what was that like, graduating, doing the music, like, go ahead, talk about that for a minute, for a little bit, if you will.
All right, so I had met Marley like 2 years previous to me graduating from college. And I was recording records here and there. Two of the records that I recorded ended up being on his Marley Control album. The same year I graduated was the same year that album was to be released. And so we hadn't got to the point of discussing an album yet. And then we did the Symphony. That was like the last song we recorded for the album, and we shot the video. When the video dropped, nobody knew who I was when the video dropped. When the video dropped, the song took off, people loved the record. So all of a sudden, I was a commodity because now the label had my name attached to this record that was people was loving. And it wasn't until because the video didn't officially drop till '89. The video came out '89, and then when the video came out, that was when the conversation about an album started to come around. And so it was really '89 when Cold Chillin', said, all right, we're gonna put a single out on you first, and we're gonna see how the singles sell before we commit to doing an album. So we put out a single on Prism. That was like the label that they would drop all of the 12 inches on. So I had a song called Together, and the flip side was a song called Letter to the Better. And those two records, we dropped those. Yeah, we dropped those records, and it did cool here in the States or whatever. It did cool, but what they didn't expect was that in London, Letter to the Better became a smash.
Wow.
In the UK. So even though it was doing okay in the States, it was like blowing up in the UK. And once they saw that I had traction somewhere, they're like, okay, we could do the album. So I started working on the album at the beginning of '90, and worked on it all the way, up until it dropped later in 1990. So yeah, '88 was really me getting my feet wet, but '90 was when the first album really came out.
Yo.
Yeah. Hold it there, Ace. Let me try something real quick. Or let me mention something real quick. Hey, yo, check this out. For all y'all that's in here, if you feeling, if you loving everything that I'm bringing to y'all for the new year, why don't y'all hit that Cash App up and just, send a brother $1, $2, $5, whatever you want to donate, because I'm doing my thing. I'm really trying to bring real MCs and legends to the show. If you liking what I'm providing from over there, the Blog Talk Radio, to over here to YouTube channel. And once again, if y'all want to, holler at Ace and my brother UG, you want to holler at Mark Live Life, myself, we are here. Also, I need y'all to like. Come on, smash the like button for me. I need to get these subscribers up. Show your brother that love right now. Show that love, and we representing. So Masta Ace, why is it so important for as you as an educator, you could have just went on and just decided to be an MC and spit first instead of want to go to school and graduate. Why was that so important for you to graduate and then do your album? Why was that so important to you?
Well, music wasn't a goal for me. Music was something that we just did around the way. I didn't view music as a career path at all. So my mom's made it clear that it's about the school, it's about these grades. Handle your business.
Music. I'm telling my son the same. That's crazy.
Music is just one of them things that just kind of happened. It was very unexpected, and when I got the chance to be at Marley's studio and record, I think my first day in his Queensbridge studio at his mom's old apartment, I met MC Shan that day. I met Craig G that day. My second time at the studio, I met Coogee Rap and Polo. So I'm like, let me see where this go. Let me see where it go. And then the year that I graduated, we shooting the video for the Symphony. Crazy. And so now it's like, okay, my mom's is like, yo, what's up with the resume? What's up with the job interviews? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, hold on, Ma, let me just kind of see what's happening with this music. It looked like it might be something. I still didn't know. And then and 2 years later, I got my first album advance.
Wow.
Most money I ever got in my life. And I got my own apartment. I bought a vehicle. Nice. And right from there, I'm like, okay, this is what I'm gonna pursue and see. I'm gonna see how far this go before I get back into the work, into the work mode. And we 30 years, 35
Okay.
years later, we
Wow.
still doing it.
Still cooking. Still cooking.
Still cooking.
Well, shit, I
yo,
gotta salute you, Masta Ace, and thank you, for this opportunity, you and UG, and yo, for some motherfucking reason, I needed to link UG and Masta Ace together. I needed to do this show to have Brooklyn Brothers represent Masta
Right.
Ace, UG, and it's only right, and I'm glad I made this happen. So
I'm
I
glad you
thank you
did. I'm
brothers
glad you
for
did.
giving the opportunity.
Yo, you know
Yeah,
what?
Because I don't see
no
UG that
doubt,
much.
because I was like, I had to think about no doubt, I had to think about it. I'm like, well, damn, I ain't know how Masta Ace, I ain't know how you was gonna feel, because when I came at you, I'm like, yeah, I want to, Masta Ace and the Lodd Manafess show. So I didn't think in my mind, if you was thinking, well, yo, this is a straight Masta Ace show. Well, hey, I got UG from the Cella Dwellas. Well, yo, wait a minute, you gonna do the show with me or with UG? But I'm glad, even with you, UG, it wasn't like, yo, we gotta just be UG. No, I'm glad it worked out.
Listen, when you told
Family
me,
together.
let me tell you something. Like I told you, Ace didn't have to put us on a record, bro. He didn't have to give us that feature. That feature with the Cella Dwellas, a big look. You know what I mean? Till this day, they be like, yo, if you do a show or you reunion, you think you could bring Ace, y'all could do for the mind. Like, Ace looked out big time, bro. And I love him for that. Anything he need, whatever he want from me, he got. Like,
It's real. That's beautiful.
You still remember your rhyme? You still remember your rhyme, UG?
Oh shit.
You know he do.
I'm saying he's genuinely a good dude like that, bro. He didn't have to show us no kind of love, and he put us to when me and Fan went, like, we went off to the side when he said, "Yo, I want to get y'all on the record. We're gonna do such and such." Me and Fan went off the side and was like, "Yo, what's going on right now? Like, what's happening right now?" You know what I'm saying? It was crazy to us. Symphony, all these things he did was crazy to us. So, Ace, I salute you for just giving us that shot, because that gave us super duper fuel to move forward, bro. So any interview or anything, if they say Ace is involved, I'm there. So
Absolutely. And I didn't give it a second thought, because this is your show, B. Like, this is whatever your format was. It was. I've done all kinds of different shows. Some is 1-on-1, some is 5, 6, 7 people. So I'm basically just submitting to whatever you say your format is. And it's dope that UG is on here, because we have a connection that goes back to really the beginnings of our careers.
Yeah, facts. Last time I saw Ace was at his birthday party. That's how long it was.
Wow, 5 years.
5 years ago. That's the last time
my 50th. That was my 50th. That was my 50th.
And then I spoke to you on the phone because I asked you for a verse for a record that I'm putting on the Ugington 12. I got to send it to you. I ain't even putting it out yet. I'm waiting until it get hot. I'm going to send you the record and you let me know if you agree with it. When you agree with it, I'm putting it out. Crazy. Metabolic is out, by the way. Me and Nick Wiz did an album. Joints. He produced 4. It dropped November 22nd. It's crazy.
Nick Wiz.
Super duper well, by the grace of God. We should go keep pushing forward, man. Me and Fan just spoke the other day. We doing the Cella Dwellas is doing the EP. Yo, we rolling, bro. It's about to be ugly this year here.
I don't see Radar. Where did Radar go?
I guess he might have got bumped off somehow. But
I get bumped off his own show.
Yeah, on your own
I
show.
have no idea. I have no idea. But we here. You have
a question. I got a question for Ace.
Yes.
I've been waiting. Okay. I want to know a little bit about the Juice Crew and you working with them and your affiliation with Shantae and how that was. Can you tell me a little bit about that connection?
So my connection with the Juice Crew started when I met Marley, obviously. And from the time that I was working on my album, I would only run into, like I told you, I mentioned that I met MC Shan at my first session. I met Craig G that day. and then Coogee Rap and Polo at the second session. But I didn't actually meet Kane or Biz until the day we shot the photo for the Marley Marley Control Volume 1 album cover. When we all standing by the jet. That was my first day meeting the rest of I hadn't met Kane or Biz until that day.
Wow.
And so so we recorded this Symphony that same day. So I'm at Marley's crib watching these guys record a song, and I'm just meeting Kane for the first time. So it was a gradual process. I would go up to the label, and sometimes I would run into different people from the crew up there at the label, and say what's up or whatever like that. But it was never a situation where we was breaking bread or going to each other's houses, and at least not from my standpoint. I was from Brooklyn. Mostly everybody else was from Queens. Me and Kane was really the only two from Brooklyn. And so but once Kane got to know me, he was very generous with his opportunities. So he had a show in Canada one time. I had never, performed in Canada. He invited me to travel with them up to Canada. And this was back when must have been what, 88 or 89? No, about 88, 89, but my album wasn't out yet. And this was back when you could just change your name on a flight the same day. Like one of their peoples wasn't gonna make the flight, and they called me like, "Yo, we at the airport. You want this last ticket? We can switch your name." And I'm like, "Bet." And I packed a bag and went and flew to Canada with them. He gave me a couple of looks like that, where he just invited me out, let me get on stage with him, and I think it had a lot to do with the Brooklyn connection that we had, because everybody else was from Queens for the most part. He showed me love. Yeah, and DJ Mr. C had a lot to do with that connection, because I met C through Kane, but C was really the one who sort of welcomed me into the clique. Telling Kane, let's bring Ace. Let's bring Ace. So that's kind of how I got brought into it. And I got to know everybody individually, little by little, over time. Yeah.
Hey, yo, Ace, I like the funny shit is where G-Rap and Kane was talking amongst each other. It was like, yo, Glasses got some shit.
How funny is it that I didn't know that story until like last year? Like I didn't know none of that stuff was going on.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
They never, like, they didn't tell me. Yeah, back then we were saying such and such and such. I didn't find that out until Kane did that interview.
That's crazy.
Yep. Hey, I got a question for Ace real quick.
Go ahead.
Yeah, peace, Ace. I remember when I first came out to LA in '95, right? My group was Raw Breed and Ice-T.
I remember Raw Breed. Y'all was on Warner Brothers.
Yup.
Shout out to Raw Breed.
And we had Ice that flew us out to LA to start working on the album, Ice-T. And my cousin's Cool Keith. So he's crazy. Like, okay, y'all niggas gonna stay with me in Hollywood. And he had just got his deal at Capitol. So I'm in Keith's house and I'm hearing Keith is Keith. He's in his bedroom and he got a mattress and he got his magazines and he got his box. And then in the other room, him and Kurt had a whole studio. But that was his little sanctuary. And every night I would hear your album sitting on Chrome album, front to back, just like down. And Keith be like, yo, Mark, the production. I need this shit. I need that. I need bass lines. I need bass lines like Ace got the bass line. And I'm like listening. I'm like the production, your transformation from the first album to that album, because it was my first time with my group out in LA, and it was so big out here, because I think the production had that hybrid. How did you guys do that?
Well, a lot of that sound that you're talking about, that's a sound that I adopted because I was around when Marley was making LL's album Mama Said Knock You Out. So I was in some of them sessions, and I was hearing the pre-mixes and the and Booming System. When he produced Booming System, I was like, yo, what is that sound? That low end, that what is that rumble right there? What is that? He's like, oh, I'll tell you one day. I'll tell you one day. and then one day I finally got him to tell me what it was.
Right.
And he explained how he got that rumble, and he actually gave me that sound on a disc.
Whoa!
And from that moment forward, I was like, yeah, all my joints is gonna have this rumble. Gonna have this rumble on it.
That was the 808 Ace.
So that
it wasn't.
Nah,
the 808.
he's right because that was big for that album. Influenced Keith a lot with, I think, when he was doing Sex Style. Okay. Around that same time, and that album, because him listening to it all the time and just hearing that low end made him change his shit to bass lines and low end and different types of sounds and stuff. And then when I started producing, working on Keith's albums like Black Elvis and Dr. Doom and doing the production, it was like, Mark, you got to go to Guitar Center right now. We need bass lines. We need low end. So yeah, that was a big album as far as production. It changed a lot of shit.
Yo, I ain't gonna front. That shit kind of it changed the trajectory on just making underground shit for us.
Right.
We was listening to that shit like, and then the remixes and him doing the Born to Roll and all that shit. We was like, yo, man, music is much bigger than where we going. Like, you could step outside and make some shit, and niggas, and they accepted it. It was accepted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we wasn't scared now. That's when Perfect Matches and all that shit. We wasn't scared to do that type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
well, I think it's interesting because Cella Dwellas and Masta Ace, y'all got us, like, Cella Dwellas had a sound. Y'all underground sound was so distinct. When Land of the Lost and all that came out, y'all was like, it was like y'all had took what like my group was doing in the 93 Raw Breed and Onyx and all that stuff, and y'all had evolved it. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then it was like the animation of the voices, you know. See, I don't think the artists today understand what we had to do to just get on.
It's different, man.
The originality, coming up with shit. You know, you bumping into Ace and him being the kind of guy he is to give you that lifeline, you know, and it's like, this is what we had to do. And I think New York gets a bad rap for being like not a city that ever like put people on, but there'd be no New York if we didn't all put each other on. We all somehow did, you know, but I think the skill level and the quality of, you know, to get a deal in the 90s was almost an impossible task.
It's different now. The YouTube and the internet is the labels now,
right?
Bro. You create enough traffic for yourself on YouTube and all that, you don't need a label no more. They make they millionaires now. It's crazy. Where we come from, the label got to believe in you for you to be able to get the. You know what I'm saying? It's different. It's different now. It's different.
There's no gatekeepers. There's no gatekeepers.
Exactly. But I tell any one of these young boys, if you want smoke with the lyrics and all that, I'm here. Just knock on my door. I'm here for that. I'm different. You know what I'm saying? It's we
you definitely a true lyricist. You are definitely a true lyricist.
Yeah, you know, Ace. We following behind Ace, and it's a different cloth. It ain't we ain't just mumbling and talking about syrup and all that. We thinking of writing. You know what I'm saying? It's different.
Your project, The Portal. Can you tell me a little bit about that? The creation process and the writing, because it's so dope. That project alone, right there.
Yeah, I appreciate. You know what's so crazy about Portals? After me and Fan dropped the last album, Portals. When I released Portals is already about 8 years older. So I just had Portals in the stash because I just was making stuff, and I just picked songs out the stash and put it together. and I try to make the music I try to make. I'm a visual artist.
Right.
I'm a visual artist. You know what I mean? So the stuff I make, I try to make it for movies like Doc Strange. My joint is just I'm an animated artist, so I make visual music. You know what I'm saying? So with Portals, I was just trying to put a movie together lyrically. That's what I do. I try to put things together so when you hear it, you can vision it and see it like, oh, he's wild. He's talking crazy right now. So I'm a visual artist. So Portals was already done. That album was already 8 years old. We just decided to release it at that time. So I try to we try to make timeless music. So whenever you hear it, it's just at that time when you hear it, it's for that time when you listen to it. I don't try to make it for the past. I try to just make timeless stuff. So when you listen to it, it's like I feel like listening to Portals today. You know what I'm saying? And that's my thought process when I hear beats or I'm like, yo, I want to make something that people could just continuously listen to when they want to go to the stash and say, I feel like listening to this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when you talk about art and visualization, what are some of the things that you've watched that inspire how you make your videos? Because I've seen a couple of your videos that are really dope, and I like to hear about the creation process of what you think. Like, because I see a lot of symbols and things like that. So can you break that down a little bit?
I basically, like I said, I'm a George Lucas rapper. I'm a Star Wars. I make that type of music. You know what I'm saying? Because I know people like when I look at stuff like Star Wars and The Hobbit and Fire and Ice and stuff like that.
You hear it in your lyrics.
Right. You can hear it in that. So I want when I write something, it's like, okay, I watch those type of movies and say, what can I do to make the average mind get stuck to it and say, okay, they got a whole metaverse now. Oculus is metaverse now. I've been doing that. So now it's easier for me to make those lyrics and say, okay, let's make it visual or game-like. So when they listen to it, they feel like they rap into Fortnite or Minecraft or Skyrim or those games like that. So that's how I get my process. I play the games, I watch the movies, and I say, okay, I see what this is the lane I want to be in. This is the type of music I make. And I'm not gonna lie, when I write it, I don't even mean to make sense, but it makes sense. If that makes sense to y'all. Like it just comes to me. Like I download it out the air. Like for real. Like I download that stuff out the air. So it's I can't even explain it, to be honest. Like when I write it, I listen to it and I'm like, yo, I didn't even write it like that for it to make sense like that or for it to sound like this. Right. I really can't even explain that process to you. It's just it just come out the air for me. I'm not even gonna lie. It come out the air for me.
No so doubt. As a producer, also you make beats as well, right? Yeah. So what are some of the instruments that you use or some of the equipment? I know back in the day, the ASR, SP, like
SP was SP and AS.
You have a go-to.
Now, shout out to Nick Wiz. He put me on
Nick Wiz.
Something called the machine. I use the machine now. That's all I use. I don't use the icon.
Team MPC. Team MPC.
Garbage.
Not a machine. I'm an MPC guy, but machine is mean though. My guy uses machine.
I got accustomed to it. I use the machine.
Machine is rough.
I was making beats for a long time. Like when we was working on
UG. Wait a minute. Pause a minute. Life. Pause a minute, because there's a section I want to come back. Pardon me, Life. I want to come back to the production part.
Right.
Like I was saying earlier, Life, I want to go back and forth.
Yes.
So I want you to throw some nice questions at Masta Ace. You doing lovely
Ace,
underground.
I see Ace getting busy too. Ace make
yes, no, but
I want to come back to the production. I want to come back to the production later though. Hold up, because I got a bone to pick with you. But I want to throw something at Masta Ace. But before I do that, Life, do you want it? Because you did your homework. Do you want to ask Ace a question?
Well, I just love Slaughterhouse. Honestly, it's not homework. It's just I grew up on that. So
Okay.
like that project right there. I mean, the interlude. Let's go there,
Yeah, yeah.
okay?
But
Because
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Before we do go there, Ace, this is 2022.
Right?
Are we still in the era of the Jeep ass nigga?
Nah, we are not. I'm 30 years older than I was when I was on that mindset. When I was on that, I was driving around Brooklyn in a Chevy Blazer with 215s and 212s. And the rear view mirror would vibrate so you couldn't even see out the back of the car. And I can't drive around with music that loud no more. Like I can't
Yeah.
do it. I can't do it. I just can't
that
do it. Like I don't.
rumble, that rumble effect.
Yeah, I outgrew it. I outgrew that loud ass music, man. But and of course I had a bunch of different cars driving through Brooklyn with rims, and I can't tell you how many rims I done cracked on the Brooklyn streets on Atlantic Avenue, and cracking rims and all that, and so I had a low rider, a Chevy Suburban that was lowered, and it was the only lowered truck in New York City because I bought it in LA and shipped it to the
Right.
state. I shipped it to the East Coast. So I was the only one in New York for a minute with a low Suburban like that.
Now,
Wow.
Ace, is that the definition? Because from what you're talking and what you're describing, is that the definition of a Jeep ass nigga?
It's somebody who got a hot vehicle, usually an SUV, rims on it, got to be tinted, got to be systemed out, and you know what I'm saying, you riding with the seats all the way back, windows down, hollering at the ladies on the main
What got
strip,
me
and that's
hearing the song right now? I hear the song.
yeah.
It's going off. Hey.
That's what was going on at that time. I'm 25, 26. Yeah, that's what my life was like.
Yeah.
I'm a different person than I was then. I will say that. You know what I mean? But it was a fun time. I enjoyed that time. We had a great time. UG was probably with me on some of them drives
Sure was.
around Brooklyn,
Sure was. Sure was.
and stuff. So it's just it's a different time in my life. That's all.
So do you mind me jumping back in there real quick? Because you say it's a different time, but some of the themes were so mature and very important on those projects, and there's a difference. So you as a young man to of course, you got the loud music, the girls and all that, but also you were talking about a lot of things on that project. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, let me just commend you first for even mentioning Slaughterhouse, because there's not many female fans that ever mention that album.
Wow.
That was
he might be the first one that I heard.
Maybe that I can think of. It's very rare. It's very rare. Because there was no radio records. It wasn't nothing you could really dance to. You had to love hip hop music and want to put the headphones on and just zone out and just get into some underground sound and stuff. Because that was a dark album. It wasn't accessible to the average ear.
Right.
So it kind of became a cult record where there's like pockets of these people that I run into from time to time, and like, oh, that's my favorite album.
Oh, that album was crazy.
I love that album.
That album was like, I told you when we first touched down from the Bronx to LA, we didn't really know what we was gonna do because we were trying to get that Warner Brothers deal, and we were transitioning from the first album on Relativity that we did with KRS-One and them, with the Rabbit Stew shit, and then we came out to LA and we were trying to, because we were around. I'm up at Ice-T's house. You got Tupac up there, Jay-Z, Nas, Ice Cube. They all up at his house, and we some Bronx niggas like. I used to be like, yo, why don't y'all niggas go in the booth, man? Show them niggas what y'all doing. So we rapping and shit. And then I was always like, UG was talking about, I was always concerned with concepts and sound. And bottom and how to kick sounds and the snare. Radar, I tell you, he been in the studio with me, you know. So we was very intricate. And like I said, when I heard that album, it really inspired me to make sure that we tried to give whatever we were doing out in LA, because this is where we did and we went to Warner Brothers LA, Burbank, not downtown in the city.
Yeah,
right.
Y'all got signed by Allison Ball Gabriel.
We got signed by Denise Brown.
Okay, yeah.
She was the big boss. She signed us. Signed us the same day.
Dope.
We went in there with a demo. TR Love from Ultramagnetic was my producer. You know Trev, TR Love.
Of course.
He was our producer. We went in. It was Trev, me, Shafiq Hussein from Sarah, right? Who was in Raw Breed at the time. We went to Warner Brothers. Howie T was the A&R. We had 3 songs on a demo. I had the tape under my mattress in Hollywood, under the bed. I found the tape for the 11 o'clock meeting. We went up there. We played 3 songs. The last song was Carlito's Way. That was the quote unquote the hit, the record that got us the deal. He said, look, I don't know. I got a slot. I got Little Indian. I got RBX. I got one more slot. I was going to do an R&B album. But I'll take this to Denise and see what happens. Maybe we can get back in here Wednesday. By the time we got to Hollywood and Cahuenga, we had a $500,000 deal.
Wow.
That same day.
Crazy.
I was like, because Ice-T was like, if y'all don't do something in the next couple of weeks, I'm sending y'all niggas home.
Yeah, y'all out of here.
Because we was out here like lost. Like we thought we was gonna get a deal here, there. We out here, everybody's making records. My cousin's like, yo, I'm going up to North to make Dr. Octagon. Y'all niggas is on your own. I'm out. So Keith went up to do Octagon. So I'm in Hollywood like, but it was like if you were able to get in that meeting room and you had some shit, you could get a deal on merit. You didn't have to have necessarily numbers or had to sell a lot of 12 inches independently. If you had the heat and you were able to get in that room, it was
that was a time when the quality of the music was all you needed to get signed.
Right.
Yep.
Now you could go to a label with the hottest song on earth, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, what's your YouTube number?
What's your
streams looking like?
What is the algorithm?
What's your views?
So I want to ask you guys, the legends on the page, what do we do now? How do we circumvent that? How do we, as guys that take the quality, the time, want to put out music that matters, that has longevity, what do we do in 2022?
I'm
gonna do what I've been doing the last 20.
Exactly.
Dropping good music and touring.
Yes.
So let me say something, Ace, and I'm gonna
come. Go ahead, UG. I want to ask you about the tour, Ace. Go ahead, UG.
Me and Fan was talking about this the other day. Nigga Ace with his tour shit. We a little upset at this guy. This guy fucking on tour for about fucking 3 years. We've been watching Ace tour like, and you know why we love it? Because Ace, you work so hard, you do what you do. You deserve to get all those shows. And we say, we got to start locking in. Like, if we talk about tour, me and Fan say, we got to lock in like Masta Ace. We got to get on tour. Because Ace be on tour. It don't be no 2 weeks. Ace be on everything moving. So we try to say, all right, we're going to set the tour bar. It's going to be called the Masta Ace tour bar. We got to get on that type of tour time.
Yeah.
Ace be rocking. He be rocking. So this year, we gonna get on the Masta Ace tour.
You got to. Your niggas is hard. You got to.
I ain't gonna lie. Before COVID hit, we had a nasty run coming up.
Nice.
COVID hit.
Yeah.
It was over. Yeah.
You
know what I mean? So we set our standards too. We call it the Masta. We gonna get on that Masta Ace tour time. Because Ace be on tour.
No doubt. Hey, yo, Masta Ace, let me ask you a question. Speaking on what we all building on, you said you're going to keep doing what you do in the past 20 years. How do you keep yourself relevant? I'm not going to say your age, but how do you
it's
keep
well
yourself
documented.
relevant?
Shit.
Okay, well documented. But what I want to say is, it's like what UG said earlier. You want the real lyrics, come knock on the door. What? How does Masta Ace stand out from 25 years old to an older man now, Masta Ace? Like,
Well, let me
do you
just say
feel
this.
do you feel that do you feel that you compete against yourself? Like the older Masta Ace smashes the younger Masta Ace.
Nah, I'm not competing at all. I'm continually reinventing.
That's it.
You know,
That's
Okay.
relevance is relative.
Mm.
It all depends on who you're asking about relevance.
Mm.
I'm not relevant to 16, 17, 18-year-old fans, and I never will be. They listen to a whole different sound of music.
Snap
At
attack.
the same
True.
time, I've been dropping projects consistently since 2001.
Mm.
And each one of those projects, with each one of those projects, because they were good projects, I picked up each release. I picked up a new legion of fans that maybe didn't know who I was before that
Mm.
project dropped. So I
Mm.
dropped the project in '01. All of a sudden, all these people in Germany and Switzerland and Sweden who didn't know anything about Take a Look Around or Slaughterhouse or Sitting on Chrome were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
who's this dude?" They thought
Mm.
I was just coming out for the first time.
Mm.
They fell in love with me in '01. Then in 2004, I drop a Long Hot Summer. I go on tour again. It's 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old people at the club like, "Oh man,
Crazy.
I just found out about you.
Wow.
I'm gonna go back and hear all your other music." So once I saw that, I was like, okay, I just got to keep doing dope records.
That's it.
And and the key to the touring thing for me, and a lot of artists, a lot of my peers, they don't understand this part of it and how this works. Relationships are number one. You
Mm.
have to establish relationships, and you got to be loyal.
Mm.
Most of my peers are only loyal to the dollar. They're not loyal to the relationship.
That's it.
Mm.
That's it.
So
That's it.
Yeah.
I have an agent in Germany that brought me. She was the first person that brought me to Europe to do an extended tour in 2001. I did shows with her in 2000. She did about 6 shows with me, and then the next year in 2001, when I dropped the album, she put together a run that was like 26 shows.
Wow.
Sheesh. Sheesh.
After I did that run, I've been working with her since 2000 up until right now. She's working on a June run. Hopefully the COVID don't shut it down. But we've done. I've lost. I don't know how many. There's no way for me to count how many shows we've done. But I've performed in probably 63 countries around the world, and most of it is based on the relationship with her. Now I can tell you, there's been several other agents that are competing agents with her that came to me and was like, "Yo, you want to do this little run over here?" I'm like, "Nah, if it ain't going through her, I'm not doing it."
That's
Wow.
loyalty. That's loyalty.
Yep. And had I done that little run with that agent, she might have been like, "All right, I ain't messing with him like that no more." That's just how it goes. I showed loyalty. She showed loyalty. She kept me on the road, and you know, she's a family member now. She done been in my crib. She read my daughter a bedtime story when she was like 4 years old. Like,
Wow.
it's like that now.
That's dope.
So
That's dope. That's dope.
the other part, other
So-
part of it, I'm gonna give you the other part of it. The other part of it is your live show.
Oh yeah.
Dudes from the States go over to Europe and they half-ass it. They do 20 minutes.
What?
They drunk on the stage.
Right.
They screaming, they cuffing the mic, screaming their lyrics.
Yep.
There's no stage presence. There's no theatrics. It's just get up there and just kind of just barrel through your songs and get backstage so you can go smoke weed.
Right.
And these audiences in Europe, they want a show. They want they want to be entertained. And so what I've been able to do over those 20 years is make sure that every time I stepped on a stage anywhere in any country, that I'm gonna wreck it, that I'm gonna be sweating from head to toe, that I'm gonna give full energy from the beginning to the middle to the end, and I'm gonna give them an encore, and I'm gonna give them another encore. Whatever they want, I'm gonna keep giving it to them. And because of that, I have there's cities in Europe. There's cities in Europe that I've performed at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times over the last 21 years. Okay. Every time I go back to that city, it's 500 people in the room.
Oh yeah.
Yo, respectfully too, and I'm gonna tell you, and I'm just gonna add on to what Ace said. When me and Fan first got in the game, and this is a fact, headliners was going on before us because that's what we prided ourselves on. Shows on that stage, you gotta make the fans want to see you. When you give them that show, they're gonna want to come back every time you come to their city. They're gonna keep on coming back to you. And matter of fact, it's the last show, and the last show I seen you at was you, Rod Digger. We was in the city. I got it on.
Yeah, I remember that.
Camera. Got on camera.
I remember that show. That show.
And Ace hit it right on the head. As long as you do that, they're gonna come to see you every single time. And me and Fan always said, we don't care who goes before us.
Oh, a minute.
We feel sorry for who go after us, cause it's gonna be crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I embody what Ace said. As long as you perform and don't have fans, you're gonna be able to rock out, man. So hopefully 2022, the Dwellers and Ace, we gonna do something. We gonna make that happen. Trust me. We gonna do some tour somewhere, some show somewhere. We gonna make that happen. I'm telling you, I'm putting that in the air now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in the air. Hey, yo, Ace, let me ask you this, man. What comes with like the Born to Roll classic, and I see that it was on the top 20 Billboard. When you make singles and they hit the top 20 billboards and just get on the billboards, what type of success is that to you? Like, to have records on a billboard like that. Like, what all comes with that, if you will?
I mean, Billboard, it opens up doors because I started doing like bigger venues, bigger shows. Well, when I say bigger, I just mean in terms of more visibility. So I was doing these weird like shows. I remember this show in San Diego that we did. It was for like a radio station. So it was like the Z90 or whatever it was out there. And I don't like those shows because the fans, they only know your radio record. They all they know is the radio record. Like they not there for nothing else except that record that they play on the radio 600 times a day.
Right.
Everything else you do, they just stand there like, okay, like
that's a fact. That's a fact.
That's a commercial audience. That's not where my bread is buttered. It allowed me to get in front of those audiences, and that's cool. Made money off of it and everything like that. But when I did the interview at the station, the guy called me into the station. They give you like a 3-minute break to ask you like quick rapid fire question. His first question: what's it like to have your first record out? I said,
"Oh shit!"
I'm like, "What you talk?" I said, "I got it." And I told him about the Juice Crew. I told him about the Symphony. I told him about my first album, my second album, because this is sitting on Chrome album. Like this guy's like, he's like, right. he looked like a deer in the headlights. He didn't even know what to say. He looked like a fool on the radio, on the big station. He quickly glossed over it. All right, well, here's this hit, Born to Roll. Boom. And the interview was over.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yep. Yo, UG, I want to ask you real quick, brother. How was it when y'all got signed to Loud? Like that must have been, you know, that must have been big. Like, you know, that's a legendary label.
It was all right. It was
Uh-oh.
all right. It was
Uh-oh.
big. It was big.
Okay.
We did a short. We had a short the Lyricist Lounge. Scott Free. Shout out to Scott Free and Maddie C.
Yeah.
They came to the Lyricist Lounge. Was like, yo, we gonna take y'all to Loud. We got a meeting in our next couple of days. Come up to Loud.
Dope.
So we went up to Loud. So Steve Rifkin, he had long hair at this time. He looked like he was a surfer at that point.
Right.
Oh yeah, we want to sign you guys. We're gonna make you all kinds of shit loads of money. Blah 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 blah. So me and Fan was hyped.
Yeah.
Started going on. We making an album. We was like, okay, this is what it is. We went back into the office when the album was done. He was like, well, you know, the way we do stuff here is just we throw shit on the wall, whatever sticks. When we heard that, we was like, uh-oh.
Shit.
Now remember at that time, it was Mob and the Licks and Us was like Loud's original first artist.
Right.
When them started coming in, it's like, oh, I see what's going on. We didn't get lost in the shuffle, but a lot of the work, the A&Rs and people up there that were supposed to do their job, they became fans more than workers. So when them all came out, everybody was drawn to who they like instead of doing their job. You know what I'm saying? Now, shout out to Scott Free and Matt Light because they fought for us the whole time. But at this point, me and Fan was like, yo, we don't need, that's why we didn't have no features on the first album. He's like, we don't need nobody because we're going to do us. And the machine was cool. Yeah. The cogs was moving a little bit, but we had to move the cogs ourselves, go on tour, do all of this, do all of that. Now, Loud, we thank them for the deal that they gave us. But at that point, the way they ran things up there was a little wow.
Wow.
It wasn't like, okay, we got the Dwellers coming out this quarter. We putting out all this money. We pushing out all these videos. It was like Steve was just throwing shit on the wall. Okay, that's sticking. Let's go with that. Let's put them on hold for a second. Oh, that's sticking. So me and Fan just decided we went rogue after that. We was like, yo, we just gonna do our thing, go do these shows, rock out, and make, you know what I'm saying? Try to get our shit up. And through our work and hard ethic, we did our thing. People respected us because it was like, yo, y'all, we could have grabbed Wu, we could have grabbed Mob, we could have grabbed these other artists, but we didn't want to do it that way because we wanted to show the world like this is what the Cella Dwellas is about, and this is how we don't really need nobody. Now, thinking now, if I would have been logical about it back then, we would have grabbed everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody on here. You kidding me?
Yeah.
Because Loud at that time was very
they were mega.
We were super duper at that point. But
yeah.
We was like, nah, we just gonna go off our own.
Was y'all out west a lot? Did y'all come out west a lot?
Yeah,
we was all out
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
The mix and exhibit. No, we was out in the west a lot. We got a lot of love out there. Oakland, we got a lot of love because of the type of artist that we was. We was never late. We didn't cause no problems. We went to the show, got busy. We got off the stage, showed fans love. So we got love for just being genuine and not trying to be superstarish or bougie. That's how we got the love.
Yeah.
After shows, me and Fan will jump down and be like, yo, let's go get a drink. We go into the bar with fans that's on the floor. You know what I'm saying? That bought a ticket. So that's how our fan base built, because we just built on being social and saying, yo, listen, at the end of the day, I always said, this is a job for me, bro. They gave me an opportunity, and when a fan yells and screaming on lyrics, we going to get a drink, or I'm going down there, we taking a picture, or we chilling. That's how it was, and that's how our fan base grew. You know what I'm saying? And my mom's always told me that. My mom said, nigga, when you come home, that rap stuff, stay out there. When you come in here, you be who you are. And she always said, yo, listen.
Hey, shout out to your mom Dukes, Eugene.
Yeah, oh yeah, you know what it is. She always told me, don't let this music thing get in the front of who you are. You be who you are all the way around, whether you're successful or not. So that's how our fan base grew. It's like, yo, come on, bro. When they cry like, oh my God, nah, come on, let's take a picture. Let's go get, you want something to drink? Let's go. We're going to be over here. And that's how our fan base grew. You know what I'm saying? Just being social like that, because that's the type of people we are. That's the type of artists we were. We go do our job, be on time, be the flight on time, be the show on time, knock this out. And that's why promoters mess with us a lot, because we never caused no problems. It was like we get there, do our job, get out of there. Go back to the hotel, Sega or whatever, play the 2K, and we never
don't trash the room.
No,
right.
that's exactly. We ain't trashing the room. We telling the maid, no, we got it. We making our own best. Yo, for real. That's the
Ace, you tore up a lot of rooms, Ace.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm on what UG. I've always been on what UG is on, doing things that way, being on time, engaging with the fans,
no doubt.
taking care. You know what I'm saying? Not leaving the promoter with a crazy room service bill or blowing up the mini bar, taking all the liquor out and leaving.
Right.
All those things. Dudes do that stuff, and they burn bridges. They burn bridges.
Yeah, man. Yeah, listen. So I've been with remember, I told Mob, Woo, niggas was tearing shit up.
I know.
Tearing it up, Ace. Like, I'm like, yo, listen, me and Fan always, and my manager, AD, salute them. We always prided ourselves on, listen, we come here, we do our job, we be on time, we knock it out, and we get out of here. That's it. Whatever little groupies came, that was, but we still made sure we made up the bed and got them out by the time it was time for us to go to our flight. So we ain't have questions. And
so I wanted to jump in there and ask about family life, because he said the magical word groupies. So, when it comes to women in the game and being in the industry, because we all know how it is, like, and you got that wifey. Tell me a little bit about that. How did it affect anything with your relationships? How? And what would you suggest for like the young cats that's in the industry? We just seen what happened with the baby and Danny Lee out here wilding, but just saying for artists and family and that,
Well, I'm
lifestyle.
I'm gonna keep it a stack of pancakes with you. At that point when I was grouping, I was by myself. I've been married 16 years, as you know what I'm saying, as of last year. It's nothing like my wife.
Congratulations.
It's nothing like my wife. I could take a picture, I could say hi, I could give you a hug. But after that, I'm going, I got my PlayStation, everything. I got Madden, I got plays I gotta learn for people online that's talking crazy. I gotta make sure that when you know what I mean, Ace, I know you know what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, when I got married, that's it. That's the end game of everything. Take a picture. Hey, I'm going to my room. That's it. But before I was married, I was a
wild boy. You was a wild boy.
I was a wild cowboy. You know what I'm saying? But when my son was born, that was it. Because
no doubt,
the way that I grew up, my father wasn't there for me. He left when I was 2. So my mother took care of all these kids by herself. And when my son was born, I said, I will never put you through what my dad put me through. And when he was born, I had to stop being selfish, because remember, it was just me by myself. So I'm doing all the watch it. But when he was born, that's it. It's over. Like I said, take a picture. Hey, I'm in the room and me and my wife is on the phone. That's it. I don't know how the baby and them do it, but the way I was brought up from my mother, it was different. My mom was my father and my mother, so she taught me different. So I'm a different rapper. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
They still in wild cowboy mode right now because they in their 20s.
I'm just saying, I'm not comparing nobody, but you know how the news is and how it really is out here with the industry. It's like that, So there's all types of spiritual warfare. What about your spirituality too? Because that's a whole nother thing when it comes to the industry. Your spirituality and what you represent as a person. Have you ever had any challenges with that?
Right.
No challenges
Not
for
really,
me.
because once I knew who. Go ahead, Ace. Go ahead.
Ace.
No, I'm just saying. I've been married 20 years this past November.
Wow, God bless.
Congratulations.
Yeah. and we are like-minded individuals. We are on the same page when it comes to all of the really important stuff. Of course, you have your different disagreements about how the dish is supposed to get washed or whatever, little stupid stuff. But the spirituality part, we are completely like-minded. We have a daughter. You know, we pray together. We're a spiritual family, not necessarily a religious family, but we're definitely a spiritual family, and we believe that we believe what we believe as a family. We don't try to instill what we believe on nobody else, and we don't want nobody try to tell us nothing. Let us do us. We good over here,
Right.
and that's pretty much how I've always approached it. It's 20 years married, but we've been together closer to 25, 26.
Yeah,
Wow, that's beautiful.
same here. Same here. I don't mean to cut you. Says same here. Like at the end of the day, when I found out, I always knew who God was. Like I always had an idea of who God was. But when I found out who God was and I had a relationship with God, my thing was not only don't want to mess up my relationship with my queen, I don't want to mess up my relationship with the creator of all of these things, because he says when you marry, that's what it is. It's you and your wife. You understand what I'm saying? Anything else outside of that it's not what it's supposed to be. So I don't want to mess up my relationship with my creator and with my wife, because my family means so much to me. I would not even try to allow somebody to enter that circle to destroy that, because after that it's pain. Trust me. You understand what I'm saying? So we believe what we believe in. We're not religious because we believe that religion puts God in a box, and that's not what it is. You understand what I'm saying? And whatever everybody else believes in, like Ace said, y'all believe in that, that's cool. But I know one thing, there's a higher being that's keeping me and my family together, and that's what I'm gonna stay with. So all the other outside distractions, it is what it is. It's a distraction to keep you from what's going on. So that's how I always take it. It's like when I go out, I ask my Holy Spirit to say, help me make the right choices, and it's been working from there. So I'm good. And them groupies and all that, I done did it. Now that I'm secure with my wife, they can have all of that. All the young guys, do your thing.
It's your turn.
Eat.
It's your turn.
Yeah, eat.
Okay.
Damn. That's what up. I need to stop acting like a young guy, cause shit, I'm not even married and shit. So,
What you waiting for?
Yeah.
you know what, man? Ace, UG, Mark Live. Yo,
We bigger than DC 37, bro. You might as well join the union, bro. We big, bro.
well, you know what? I guess Allah gotta bless me, with the right wisdom to come by my path, because right now it's just not happening for me. But I commend y'all. Mark Live, you too, Mark. You married, man. Yo,
Hey,
you go ahead and start yours
man.
out.
Look, I've been touring with Ice-T. I've been on stage with Ice-T since 1998. I've probably done, I don't know, thousands of shows with every hip hop show Ice has done since '98. I've been on stage with him. And when I first started touring, because I started going out on the road with Keith, with Cool Keith, and Keith, we would do Europe, but it was different. It was like we would do the clubs, and it was hot boxing, and it'd be crowded, and it was wild back then. And you had the girls running around, and when you're young, you think that's what you got to do. You think everybody's getting a chick from backstage and this and that. And then when Ice asked me to start touring with him, and I started seeing how on the celebrity level, like the top tier level, how he moved like a president, like no girls around, none of the shenanigans, like no, like you get to the show, manager comes, picks up the second half, we hit the stage, we leave. It's none of that, So you know, it was it's a graduation, but as I got older, I started realizing I don't see groupies anymore. I just did a show last week in Buffalo, 3 weeks ago with Ice, with 7,000 people. I don't see them anymore. I've been married 3 years. I'm just, it's like I don't even see people. It's like a job. It's like
they're all 20. They're 20 to 24 years old. My daughter is a big Jack Harlow fan, so I've been to a couple of his shows, and
wow,
they showed us love, and we got the backstage and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty groupies. It's plenty groupies at his shows.
Wow.
Plenty, and they're lined up at the door waiting. But they're all 20 to 24.
Yep.
But they're out there. They're out there for the younger artists.
The younger art. There you go.
Wow.
You're right. Yeah. It switches.
Hey, hold on. Let's take a little pit-off real quick, but I want to holler at Blog Talk Radio. Listen, for you 8 people that's showing mad love and coming in, checking out Masta Ace, UG, Life, myself, Mark Live, and then I got 16 of y'all at Blog Talk Radio. Now all y'all gotta do is just come over. Yo, dial that phone number too. Call in, holla at Masta Ace, holla at UG, ask your questions, and remember you can go ahead and also type in the comments, whatever that you want to ask Masta Ace or UG. In the meantime, we're gonna continue to
there was a question. There was a question, Radar, for Masta Ace. Somebody put a question up about how you come up with all your concept albums. They were saying like your concept albums are like, to them, like some of the best in history. What is your process coming up with the concept?
Well,
all right, good looking.
I'm a writer at heart. Let me say that first. I know everybody knows me to be a rapper, a musician, or whatever, but I'm a writer first because I was writing before I even was putting songs together. I was already writing.
Wait,
creative
Ace,
writing.
You an MC, not a rapper, Ace. You a rapper, you an MC.
Okay. But I'm a writer at heart. And so I've always had that in me. And when I started making records, I wanted to try to figure out a way I could expand my writing beyond the lyrics. What can I do beyond the lyrics? And so I started coming up with these, skits and little interludes. And then I said, well, maybe I can tell a whole story on one album. And I tried it on Sitting on Chrome first. I experimented with it, but it didn't really fully work until 2001 when I dropped Disposable Arts and I got the full story, beginning, middle, and end.
Yes.
And from there, I said, "Oh, this is dope. I love this. I'm off and running." So most of the time, the process is that most of the time the music is pretty much done, and then I try to craft a story around the music. I've never done a project where I wrote skits and ideas for skits without having songs. I always have the songs first,
right?
Because I don't want my songs to. I want my songs to be pure. Whatever I want to make a song about, that's what it is, and then the story can work around it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been my process. But now, for the last 3 years, I've been writing a hip hop musical, and it's actually the reverse process now because now I have to actually write the story, the dialogue, the story, and then craft the songs around the dialogue, which is a completely opposite thing. And it's been a process. I'm learning as I go, but it's coming along really well. We just had our second table read was this past December, and I'm working with this company called Rhymes Over Beats. They've been helping me stay on schedule with the writing of this musical because I'm working on music as well. But yeah, man, it's a process.
Wow. Do you mind elaborating a little bit more on the musical? Do you mind elaborating a little bit more on the musical and how and what's the process and
Yes.
when is that going to be coming out?
Is it a hip hop musical?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hip hop musical. It's loosely based on the characters and storylines of some of my albums. If you follow all of the albums, there's certain characters on these albums that show up in the musical. But it's essentially a story about a young man from Brooklyn, from the hood, who, you know, is a great student, but is being pulled. He's on his way up, but he's being pulled down by his neighborhood and his environment and the people in it. And he's trying to figure out how to survive and get to his goal of, you know, going to college and being a doctor, a lawyer, whatever. But he's in some shit that he doesn't know how he's going to get out of. And that's basically the story, and it's coming out great, man. It's coming out great.
That's
dope.
That's
wonderful.
Dope.
Well, yo, I want to tell you that Disposable Arts album, the skits on there had me laughing my ass off, Ace. The skits is real dope, son. You did your thing on the skits and all that.
I appreciate it. I appreciate
hey, yo, UG, no doubt. UG, what is a metabolic, man? Talk about that. I hear the new joint metabolic, you and Nick Wiz. Woo!
Yeah.
Dope and son. UG as GFK. Yo, son, you ill with that. Like rhyming like
I'm gonna tell you what's so crazy that you asked that question, because Ace is on here now. Ace did a record called Me and the Biz.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Classic.
And when I produced the joint for Spit Darts, I just say, yo, this sounds like something that Ghost should be on. So I just followed my big brother and I said, you know what? I'm gonna do my voice as Ghostface on this joint right here. She came out.
You gotta hear that shit, Mark.
We shooting that video in like 2 weeks. Yeah, and like I said, I just follow Big Bro. Ghost is one of my. He's a good friend of mine. He's my uncle on tour. Him and Ray took care of us. They didn't treat us like we was less than them. They when media and all that was acting crazy, they stepped in and said, y'all chill out. These are my little bros. And we went out. We, you know what I'm saying? We niggas was drinking and everything together. So Ghost is one of my favorite artists because of his aura and his swagger, he just reminds me of my uncle.
Right.
That's just got that swagger and the way he put things together. He's one of my favorite artists. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna challenge myself and try to sound like him and get in his pocket. It was just a challenge for me, and it came out crazy. And once I produced the beat, I said, yeah, this is it right here. So
nice.
Yo, I thought that was Starks on there. I'm like, wait a minute, because when I saw the title, when I first saw Nick Ware's story, and I'm like, oh shit, Ghostface and UG. Then I had to go to YouTube and I looked at the shit. I'm like, what, UG as GFK? Then I'm listening. I'm like, yo, son, yo, kid, you gotta get an award for that shit.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Like, everybody that hears that record, they like, yo, if you didn't say that was you, I definitely would have thought that was Ghost for sure. So
wow,
it was just me challenging myself as an artist to do something different. Not different, something that people done before, but just trying to sound like him is like, yeah, that's a challenge in itself. So
like my God.
Ace did Me in the Biz, and I was like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna try to do it like this. So I'm just following bro, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, as far as metabolic, Wiz had sent me a record called It's Been a Long Time. Then he sent me a beat that had a lady saying metabolic in it. So I came up with the acronym Music Elevates the Average Brain Over Lyrics or Loops Incredibly Crafted. So that was just how metabolic came out. And then after that, at that point, the first song he sent me, we did it. It was a one-day turnaround. I sent it to him. Second song he sent me, I found that my pops had COVID. He just got out of the hospital from pneumonia. I found out that he had COVID, and this when COVID just started running rampant. So, during the process of me writing, I had to find a way to kind of direct me from knowing that my dad was sick and could possibly pass away. They started going on. Wiz was sending me beats. I didn't even let him know my dad had COVID until he sent me like the 4th record. Then my pops passed from COVID, and
oh no,
I had to find a way to just take myself out of misery. And every time he sent me a beat, I was doing them in a day. Send me another one. Send me another one. Then I was producing, coming up with choruses, coming up with lyrics, just to get me out of that zone. And Metabolic done in like about 2.5 weeks. So it was a wild time for me, bro. But like I said, I just, out of anger and all that, I was just downloading music out the air, man, not even knowing how it was happening. But that's what kept me sane at that process of going through my pops passing, finding out, funeral, burial, and Metabolic was kind of born through that. You understand what I'm saying? If it makes sense to you.
Yeah. That's deep.
That's beautiful. That's how the acronym came about, man. I just music elevates the average brain over lyrics or loops, incredibly crafted, and Metabolic was born, and the project is doing super well. And I'm just thankful, man. You know what I'm saying? Because at that time of my life, I was just fighting the person that created you dying and music at the same time. So that's how
condolences, brother.
Condolences.
No, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how that happened.
I mean,
and as far as
I want
to.
Since you speaking on that, UG, I'm gonna go ahead and make the announcement right now on the show. I already posted it on my IG. Shit, I'm positive right now, son. I got the coronavirus right now.
Listen,
but the only thing about it, I'm asymptomatic because the first time I had the coronavirus, I was sick under the bed, done. But now since I'm vaccinated,
I saw you.
Yeah, since I'm vaccinated and boosted, I don't really have any symptoms like that, Masta Ace. But I just found out today I got an email that I'm positive for the coronavirus. So I got like power days, 5 days to chill out and then go out. So if I'm not developing nothing in the next power days, I could step out. But if I do, they told me to take like knowledge sight for 10 days and shit. But to be honest with you, I went out. I went to Tony Tokaz. I went to Tony Touch to see Pete Rock and Just Blaze. And I'm thinking I could have contracted Masta Ace and UG life up over there at Tony Touch's. Or when I went to the Bronx to get a haircut on Fort Road, because the Bronx is the highest. You know what I mean? I think I got caught at that Bronx barbershop, but I feel real good, damn good right now. I'm not like, I'll be fucked up knowing I got this dope ass interview, been hitting Masta Ace for months and get at UG, then I catch Corona and I'm under the bed. Like I just blew my opportunity. Corona just fucked up my interview with Ace and UG. But I feel motherfucking good right now.
Let me tell you something that's so crazy. Let me tell you a crazy thing about that. After my pop,
I got a question too for everybody.
Hold on one second, sis. Hold on. After my pop,
go ahead.
Remember we had the 25th anniversary of Realms of Reality.
Yeah.
We did that show. 3 days after that, I had the worst one. I had COVID pneumonia in both of my lungs, bro.
Oh.
Know what I'm saying? So, let me tell you how good God is, though. Through prayer, vitamin C and zinc, I feel 200 times stronger than what I was back then. Know what I'm saying? So, I feel you, bro. This shit is out here. But I'm going to tell you, I work in the medical, I'm in the medical field. I work in critical.
No, I didn't know that.
Critical intensive care unit, medical intensive care. This is what I work in. This shit ain't nothing. The way that they got it, sounding crazy, is nothing but a operatory or B flu influenza. That's it. All the shit that they trying to make it seem like it's crazy. If you got underlying conditions, you might have a problem. But that's all. This Omicron shit is just a cold, bro. I'm telling you, because I know people that shit for real. It's just a cold. It's just a flu. So long as you taking your shit, like Ace got the sea moss and all that, long as you doing that, you all right.
Yeah, I got all that.
You good. You good. I'm sorry, since
you don't want to see my. I got a battery of stuff.
I know what you got. Listen, I got the burdock root, milk thistle,
y'all got the colloidal silver. That's good.
Colloidal silver, but that was old though. Colloidal silver was old.
Yeah.
We got all of that. Pine needle tea, black seed oil, burdock root, baccarat, all that. I got it all.
We at war. We at war, man. This thing is not no joke, man. It's not no joke. It's like TR Love got COVID right now. My other man Ariel got COVID. You know, it's like my man's my boy, his son got COVID. He got a 3-year-old.
Yeah. Yo, I got like 4 people in my family that passed from COVID, right? And I'm gonna tell you something. God put everything on the earth for you. Them herbs is the real deal. That sea moss, all that, that's the cure right there. And people don't they not really getting it. They rather take something that a doctor tell them to take rather than take what God put here on the earth already.
They rather take NyQuil.
Natural herbs, bro.
Right.
What you say, Ace?
They rather take NyQuil, Dayquil.
Yep. Ace, I wanted to ask you. You did something crazy. How was it to be in that verses, that epic verses, man? Like that, I mean, when I seen you come out, I dropped my phone and shit. I'm like, oh, here comes the whole Juice Crew. I mean, how was that verses and being on that stage?
It was great being on the stage. I was mad because I couldn't enjoy it the way I wanted to because I was stuck backstage.
Wow.
You know, because I walked my wife and a few friends out to their seats to get them situated, and the show had started at that point, and I got just those few moments of KRS and Kane and the energy in the room where the crowd was, and the sound was perfect. The vocals was crisp and loud, and I was like, man, I want to sit down. I got the perfect seats. I want to sit down and watch the show, but you know, Kane had said he wasn't sure when we were doing Symphony. He said, whenever Chris does Bridge is Over, that's when we're doing Symphony. So I had to be on call. I didn't want to risk being in my seat and then KRS come out and start doing Bridge is Over. Now I got to do the crazy sprint run because the run from the seats to the back to the stage was so long.
Damn.
You had to go through security around a bunch of. It would have been a crazy run, and it wasn't worth the risk. So I had to sit backstage, and you know, backstage you're behind the speakers, so you don't get the full effect of how the audio sounds. You can't hear the vocals perfect.
Right.
The view, there's no view because you're really down and looking up, and it's behind you. I mean, their backs are to you. I didn't get to experience it the way I wanted to, but being on stage was definitely dope.
Yo, Ace, I seen you when you raced out.
Oh, it's shutdown time. That's it. It's over.
You came out in that fly blue and red sweatsuit, like, yo, son, you came out. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. My wife picked out all that. Like she's like a low key stylist. Any big event, she's like, don't worry about it. I got you. I'm like, sure? Don't worry about it. All these packages start coming to the crib. Yeah, go try this on.
Yeah. Oh, you can't beat that. You can't beat that in house. You know.
I ain't even have to think about it.
Yeah.
So
that was dope. That was amazing.
Ace, let me get this off my back, Ace. I know it's 11:33, so like in another 30 minutes, Blog Talk is gonna be dead. We may still be recording. I really Damn, I really appreciate the love, Ace UG, for hanging out nice and long throughout the show, because it's a 2-hour show. But I wanna just knock this out the park, and this should be it, you know, and everybody else, you know, we could keep adding on. But I messaged you early, Ace, so you know I'm about to ask you, because she was like, yo, man, that was 20 years ago. But I was there, Ace, and I know you don't even remember me, because I was definitely rooting for you. But before I come on out, I'm like, yo, Ace, yo, you won that. You was like, nah, man, I lost. But what was the beef about with you and motherfucking Boogeyman? What was that like? What I mean, I know it wasn't like like today's beef. I know it was on wax, but what was that about with Boogeyman and Masta Ace?
It started. I had a song called Ghetto Like that I released as a 12-inch on Fat Beats Records. I guess a month or so previous to that, he put out a song called Ghetto Love, and
I never knew that. Wow.
Right. So I didn't either. And so he thought I took it. He thought I took his idea and ran with it. So he made a record. He made a diss record about me and put that out on Fat Beats, a joint called Just You Wait. And so, you know, somebody told me about it. I was like, oh, well, he made a whole record. I said, I don't even know this guy. Why is he making a record about me?
That's crazy.
So he had a bunch of little lines in there saying slick stuff about me, and I was kind of in a mode already working on that album, and I was already mad at a bunch of different things. So I was like, yo, he gonna have to get it, and these other dudes is about to get it, and so I did a song called Acknowledge and went back at him, and that pretty much was the extent of it. That was the extent of it. It was just, but that record, where I dissed him, the Acknowledge joint, that was really the record that set really the album off. When Disposable Arts dropped, everybody was playing that record around the world, and yeah, to this day I perform that record, and the reaction is crazy when that beat drops.
Yo, you know the first time that I heard about this shit, Masta Ace, was on Future Flavors, Pete Rock and Marley Marl. That's when I first heard Boogeyman, and then I heard your joint. But Ace, now I know you said you was mad, and yo, Mark Live, you know who was hosting, right? Ice-T was hosting, BB Kings. That shit was so dope. Everybody was in that motherfucker, man. That shit was nice. Ace, now I remember this like yesterday. What was their headphones for? Like you had your headphones on. It was like you was rhyming in the headphones or something like
Yeah,
what was that about? What was that issue you was doing?
I just had a beat playing. I had a beat. I was trying to rhyme to the beat in my headphones, but the beat was going. I was saying the rhyme, and then I guess me moving around or whatever, and I hit the pause button or the stop button, and the beat stopped, and that threw my. It was a plan that just wasn't proper, because I didn't want to rhyme a cappella. I wanted to just have a beat so I could have a flow.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So that's what it was.
Yo.
But yo, I was rooting for you, Ace. I mean, yo, I was like, cause I saw your energy. I knew where you was at, you know, being pissed and mad. But I'm like, yo, fuck that. Killer Priest, they was all laughing at me. I'm like screaming, yo, fuck that, Masta Ace. And then when I seen you, I'm like, Ace, you won that. He's like, nah, man, I lost that. I said, Ace, you got that. No, I lost
so, Masta Ace, I wanted to
ask
a quick question about the beats. And if you could just tease the people and let them know some of the artists that you've produced for.
Oh, produced for? Besides myself.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do a lot of outside production work, honestly. I mean, my artist, who she's my wife now, but Lachey, we did a whole album on Warner Brothers. Raw Breed was signed at the same time. They signed. She signed. We got her signed there. Denise Brown, Allison Borgaby, yeah. So that's how I knew about y'all. That's how I knew about y'all.
Shout out to Lachey and at a certain point in time, she had a show too. Is that she still
She
doing
still got.
that?
She's still doing that. I'm sitting on her set right now in the basement. Like this is
Wow.
her set.
Oh, that's good.
Big up to y'all. That's that
That's good.
family
That's
thing I'm
that
talking
yeah.
about in the
power
music.
couple, yeah.
Yes.
That's it. That's
Yep,
it
yep.
right there. That's it.
But yeah, but most of my production was for myself. You know, Born to Roll, INC Rod, Sitting on Chrome. Most of the Sitting on Chrome album I did. Yeah, and of course the For the Mind joint with Cella Dwellas. That was one of my first beats.
Whoa.
That
Wow.
was one of my
Wow.
first beats.
Open
Okay.
up eyes and tell me.
I heard that on Stretch
Ease
Armstrong.
on down the
Classic.
road with me. I hold the key to the door to your brain. You crazy? Man, listen.
You remember mine and I remember yours.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
So how were, we talking about, we were all on big labels, Loud, Warner Brothers. How are you guys putting out records now? Are you guys putting them out through aggregates, through distributors, or how are you guys putting out music nowadays?
I'm doing DistroKid.
Right?
I mean, stuff like that. To be honest with you, this next project I'm gonna put out, I'm just putting out myself, man. I'm gonna just digitally put it out. I'm gonna do a pre-order joint. I'm just gonna send it to all my fans. I got the fan joint is crazy, so I figure if I do it that way and do it like $5, $10, it's gonna be over, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm figuring it out, man. I'm in this Ephraim and Bitcoin. It's about to get crazy. These millennium kids is getting rich, and I'm about to figure it out because they cracked the code, and I'm gonna crack it. My son right now, my son.
Yeah, that's streaming. The streaming game is very interesting.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Shout out to Anthony Marshall from the Lyricist Lounge. For that Portals album, I got offered an animation deal to do an animation series.
Nice.
So this right here, I'm writing right now. I promise problems, man. Once my son and his friends and all them send me that code that they cracked, I'm over it. I'm all over it. So it's different now, man. The internet changed the game for everything. The labels is almost obsolete with this internet, man. With this YouTube and Twitch and all that, they obsolete, man. You get that traffic, you gonna make some money. Believe that.
Yeah.
We got a question that came in for Ace too. We got a question that came in.
No, I want to hear his answer on that, please, Ace.
I've been independent since 2000.
Wow.
All the records that we've put out since 2000 have been through a variety of different distributors. We basically, when we have our next project ready to go, we reach out to the 3 or 4 distributors that we have relationships with, and we let them all send in what they would like to offer us for the project.
Nice.
We go with the offer that we like the best. It's not necessarily always about the upfront money, but sometimes it's about the commitment to marketing dollars. That's a big part of it.
Nice.
But we choose, the deal that we like the best, and we put the record out through that particular distributor. And we also cut into our deal that I get a certain amount of product for myself to sell on tour.
As you should.
That's part of the deal. So
that's smart, man. That's super smart. Super smart.
So I get boxes and boxes of vinyl with each deal, and I hit the road and I take that vinyl with me, and it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Okay, Ace, do you see this? Do you see this question right here in the window? You see that question right there?
Yeah, I see it. How did I get my verse on the symphony?
Yeah.
How did I get the
if
first
you answered that. Did you answer that already?
Not on this interview, but many. It's well documented, but I'll tell it. I wasn't supposed to be on the symphony. I wasn't scheduled to be on the symphony. I was literally just at Marley's crib when they were recording the song. It was supposed to be Coogee Rap, Kane, and Craig. I was just there because I was an extra ride. Craig needed a ride to Marley's crib, and I drove him over there. They wrote their rhymes. I sat there while they listened to the beat and wrote their rhymes. I was just like I mentioned earlier, it's my first time meeting Kane that day. So I was just curious to hear what he was going to spit because I was a fan, even though he didn't really know me. I wanted to hear this new rhyme he was going to say. So I was just happy to be there. But when it came time to get in the booth, nobody wanted to go first. Everybody was passing the buck. Came like, let Craig go first. Craig, let G go first. So Marley just looks at me like, hey, you got something for this?
Wow.
And I was like, I got rhymes. Like, go in there and spit something. And I don't think he was planning on keeping the verse. I think it was just to get these guys loose, get them loose. I was like, all right. I went in there and spit one of my memorized joints, you know, and they wound up keeping it on the song.
Wow. Ain't that crazy?
That was designed for that, bro. That was designed like that. Trust me. The Most High designed that like that. Trust that, because that seemed like something that just don't happen out the whim. You're not supposed to be on there, but you get on there.
Right.
Crazy.
And then I know, and then Kane was talking to G-Rap, and he's like, when Marley told me to go in the booth, they was on the side like, yo, why you putting this dude on the song, yo? He's like, yo, man.
Hey,
I think we should just say we're going to get a slice of pizza and just don't come back.
Oh shit!
and that was the plan.
Are you serious with that?
I only know this story because Kane told it on Drink Champs on one of them shows. I didn't even know this story. He's like, yo, let's just say we're gonna go get a slice of pizza. And they hadn't heard me. All he knew was I had these big glasses. He described. He was like, yeah, big glasses on.
That's the funniest story ever.
So he basically assumed I couldn't rap.
On that record, like that's crazy to me. What?
But he admitted, he said before they left with their plan, I spit it the first time and they heard it. He's like, oh, hold up. Glasses might have something here.
Right. Wow.
That's crazy.
That's a classic story, man.
Yeah, man, that's crazy, man. I'm blown away by that. Like, yo.
Yeah. That's
crazy. That's crazy.
Imagine how I felt years later.
Wow.
Hey, UG, I got a question for you. Over, I'm looking at Blog Talk Radio right now. I got this guy named Tim Watts, TimWatts. Tim Watts. He said, Tim Watts. That's his name on Blog Talk Radio. He's in the comments. He said the Rams in Reality album. He said, did you write all the lyrics on Rams in Reality, Tim Watts? Did you write all the lyrics on Rams in Reality? I'm trying to read it. I like Phantasm, but UG, Rams in Reality. Did you write the whole album? Tim Watts.
Nah. Fan wrote his verses. I wrote my verses. I might have helped with a little stuff, but nah, when it came to most of the stuff, Fan wrote his verses. But as far as all the hooks and choruses, yeah, I came up with all that stuff.
Right.
Shout out to my bro Phantasm the Tour, man. He locked in and got busy on that album. So I ain't gonna say I wrote everything. And
but you know, in our era it was like that. Like we all wrote everybody each other's shit.
Mark, you know what's so crazy? I try not to say that.
Yes.
But you already know. I ain't gonna say that.
No, Radar. What the way the creative process, because see, back then nobody really wanted to have to get a feature. To get a feature was almost like you were selling out. So if you had a crew, you wanted to be in that crew. So everybody in that house, whoever was in that crew, would help each other write, help each other with an idea or a word. Yeah, but nobody felt like, oh, I wrote that or that's my shit. It was like we were all trying to make the best shit.
Exactly.
So and all of us from our era, we were signed to labels. It's different. We weren't independent, like putting shit up on Spotify tonight, and we was on labels, so they would A&Rs are coming to the session.
No, they was there.
What y'all niggas doing? Oh shit! Okay, man, let's order some Jackson Hole.
Yeah,
you know, like
shout out to Scott Free and Matt Light. They was in there like we gonna sit for this session. So,
yup.
You know what I mean?
Yup.
Crazy.
Hey,
yeah,
UG. Yo, UG. Tim Watts said, how come you didn't come to Russia? He said, why Cella Dwellas didn't come to Russia?
Because we didn't get a promoter to get us out there. If we would have linked with a promoter to get us out to Russia, we'd have been out there. Find us a promoter, we come to Russia. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's one spot I've never been to, Russia. I would love for the Cella Dwellas to come to Russia. So if you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that get us to Russia, we out there. That's
no
it.
doubt. Hey, yo, Masta Ace, you got another question. You see it in the window? You sit in the window?
Yeah, is the skit about Marco walking into the studio and playing me a beat a true story? It's a version of a true story. He didn't actually play me a beat, no. But we did meet at a studio, and he was an intern, and he gave me a beat CD on my way out of the studio. It was the cutting room, actually. And he just was like, yo, I do beats. He handed me a beat CD. I was like, cool, I'll check it out. And back then, I listened to everything. I don't care who, I don't care how you look. You never know who had
it. Ace is real. Ace is a real dude. He's real. Yeah, you never know. It's so real.
Yeah, so I listened to the CD, and I was like, yo, like I didn't pick anything off that CD, but what I heard was he knew how to program drums, and that's the key to a lot of this stuff. A lot of these dudes got dope loops, but the drums be corny. I was like, this kid know how to do drums. Yeah. So I hit him up. I emailed him, or I don't know if I called him or emailed him. I was like, yo, send me some more beats. And the next batch he sent me was joints that I ended up recording. The joint with me and Noid on my Long Hot Summer album. I picked that joint. The joint me and Marco was most known for, Nostalgia, that was on that same CD. And there's even a beat. This is the crazy part. There's a beat from that CD. This was in 2003, right? There's a beat from that CD that ended up on the album that me and Marco dropped in 2018.
Crazy.
Wow. I held on to that beat that long. I was like, I'm gonna do something with this beat. Just save this beat for me. I saved it all from 03 to 18.
That's crazy.
18 years.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's when you got time.
So look, we reaching the 12 o'clock mark on Blog Talk Radio. Although this is YouTube now, YouTube can go a lot more longer, but I know it's going on 2 hours for Blog Talk Radio. So Masta Ace, UG, we could talk like another whatever, if you feel, or we can get down to, you can give some advice, advice, UG or whatever, give the advice, and we could tell the fans peace, and also, your social media, whatever, but we could go another, whatever other minutes, Ace,
you got about 8 minutes, bro. I'm looking at the clock. You got 8 minutes. Bro. 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's get it done at 8.
Can I ask one question, Masta Ace?
Yes.
Okay, because we nearing the end point. I like the juicy stuff. So Masta Ace Incorporated. Okay, if you could go back in time, just tell us a little bit about that, and like if you could do anything different, or if you wouldn't do anything different, or how that impacted your creativity with that group.
Well, it wasn't really a group. What it was me trying to I was trying to market my project as a group project. I wanted people to envision it as less of a solo artist and more of a group. So I tried to incorporate other characters into the music that I was doing. So when I first came up with it, it was the two brothers that I went to high school with, Unique and Ice. Ice U Rock was their crew, and they made music too, and they were dope. And Unique was a dope producer. He actually produced one song on my first album, and he produced a couple things on my Slaughterhouse album, and he produced 1 or 2 joints on my Sitting on Chrome album. So the idea at the time was bring other voices. You know, I had a female artist, Paula Perry. I had, you know, I incorporated Shay like in '95 on the Sitting on Chrome album. I had Ice, I had Unique, I had Lord Digger. So all these different people, I figured it was because at that time in hip hop, there wasn't a lot of solo acts. It was all these groups. It was Cypress Hill. It was House of Pain.
Right,
it was
right.
It was all groups. It was all groups.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang, Mobb Deep, Cella Dwellas. Everybody was a group, and so I just said, you know, if I could get other voices on the music, maybe dudes ain't gonna like me, but they might like this rapper or this female, or you know what I mean. Like, so it was a way of making it more like how Dr. Dre did the Chronic, right? It was Dr. Dre's album, but if you listen to the album, it's really a bunch of different people incorporated on. Dre's not even on every single song.
Even right. I was going to say that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's still Dre's album,
right?
And so it was. That was the thinking. That was how I was thinking about as I was making it. But I was the only one signed. It was my deal. I was a solo artist in the mind of the label. They signed me, and I was a solo artist. So on paper, it was a solo deal. Marketing wise, I was trying to make it more of a group entity, thinking that it would be more marketable and potentially we could sell more records that way.
Brilliant. Makes sense. Makes sense.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yep.
So Ace, what is any advice in 2022? Like, what would you tell a person that's, you know, like we all, you know, sitting in front of our laptops, we do a joint, we got a home studio, we doing our thing. Like, what would be some good advice for a person who, or, you know, want to put their music out? Today, some people still want to get a deal or think they could still get a record deal versus UG. You said DistroKid. So what's your advice overall in this to someone trying to, you know, do it like Masta Ace, do it like UG, or how we doing it? What's your advice, Ace?
It's amazing to me, man. I still get people to this day hitting me up with yo, my cousin or my man, he rhymed. Like they think that it's still the 90s and people can still get put on. Nobody gets put on.
Yep.
The days of getting put on are long gone. You have to be proactive in your own music journey. You gotta create the music. You gotta release the music to the people. You know, you got SoundCloud. You got all these different routes that you can go, and start building your fan base that way by putting your music out there, because it's open borders. You can do whatever you want. There's nobody's standing in the way. There's no gatekeepers. You can so you can put it out there and you can start interacting with people. Social media is your marketing.
Yeah.
You just have to be willing to go out there and be active and be active. You know, if it comes to a point where it's that good and more people start sharing it, you might get noticed, and then maybe somebody comes hollering. But going out there trying to get put on by another artist is just not. And I'm definitely not I'm independent for 21 years. I'm definitely not the guy to go to.
Wait a minute, Ace. Ace, you gotta hear me, son. Ace, I got a verse, man. Can I get on your record? Like, I'm dope, Ace. Ace, help me out, man. Ace,
you might be dope. You might be.
You could be crazy. You're right.
I can't help you.
Yo, UG, I got a listen to this.
Yo, listen.
Ace.
Something wrong with I can't hear you. Something wrong with my microphone, bro.
Oh yeah, you can't hear.
I'm playing. Okay. Yo, you know what I'm gonna say. I just say, listen, bro. Go on YouTube and create your own traffic. I'm creating my traffic right now. It's not that I don't want to put you on, but the opportunity is different, bro. You could get it just on YouTube, figure it out, and make it work. I've been doing beats for a long time. I did beats for a lot of music that you hear. I did a lot of beats for. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit different. I might give you a little shot and send you a beat here and there, but I'm gonna tell you, you got to put the work in yourself. I'm just not going.
Yeah,
I'm not going to do it like that. So I'm with what Ace said. Figure it out. I'll slide you something on the arm and work from there. I'll drop a gem on you. It's just what you do with it. That's all I can say.
Now let me say this. UG Masta Ace. How y'all feel? I know you said it wasn't about the money earlier from what you were speaking on, Ace, but how you feel about, okay, my name is Johnny Psycho. I got a couple of $1,000. Can I pay you $2,000? Can you get on my joint, or can I feature on your song? I give you $3,000. How you feel about that? Do you take the money, or the artist got to be dope to you? That goes to you too, UG. But Master Ace first.
First of all, you can't pay me to be on my song. That won't happen. If you want a verse from me, I feature work is part of the way I pay the bills, especially now with the pandemic and no shows moving. So feature work last year was probably my busiest year. 2020, I would say 2020 was my busiest year. 2020 and 2021, my busiest years in recent times for feature work. I thought everything was going to dry up because I'm like, nobody's working, so nobody got money. I don't know if they was getting those unemployment checks was coming in, but I was like, damn, like it was people hitting me like every other week or so with a new feature opportunity. I do. Whether you can rap or not doesn't factor into my decision to take your money and be on your song. As long as I like the beat and I can write something dope to it,
let's go.
That's my job. My job is done. If you can't rap, that's not my job.
Right.
My job is not to help you rap. Long as I sound dope to me, long as I like what I spit, everything else is whatever.
In other words, if I eat you on your own record, that's on you.
Whoa.
Basically,
See, that's where it gets spooky for me. I'm gonna let you know right now. It doesn't matter if you can rap or not. People gave me an opportunity before I was even on. So my thing is, sure, you want me to do a record for you? I don't care if you just played in your basement for 30 years. Whether you can rap or not, I'm going to do my job. If this is going to allow you to get some inspiration to move forward, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. But just to let you know, if you think I'm going to come on your record and play around, I'm coming on this record to cause problems. So you better make sure if you do a record with me, you better make sure you can get busy, because I'm coming to get busy. And I'm a person where I say, listen, before I could give you a price for me to do a feature or beat for you, let me know what you can afford so we can make it work for both of us. That's just me. Once you tell me that, and I hit, and the beat is dope, you better make sure you get busy, because if not, they're gonna say, I'll accuse you on your own record. That's just what it is. That's how we are as rappers.
Yeah,
we get busy. So
it's real. It's real in the booth, right?
I'll give you the opportunity, sure, but just know, once you pay me this money is for a kill. This ain't for a play around. This is for a kill. That's me.
For a kill.
So I don't have no problem doing features, but for you to pay me to get on my album, like that's not gonna happen. You just won't be on it. It's not gonna happen.
What's your social media, UG? Where can people find you at?
Twitter at the real UG, Instagram UG _ Cella Dwellas, Facebook Cella Dwellas UG, Gmail UG3111 at Gmail. That's it.
Right.
What about you, Ace?
Masta Ace, where can they find you at, Ace?
My Facebook is Masta Ace Official. My Twitter is just Masta Ace, MASTAACE. And my Instagram is Masta Ace Pics, PICS.
And thank you for coming on the live Manafess show today. So happy to meet you and hear your story.
Appreciate y'all all. All right.
Thank you,
It's bedtime for the old guy.
Yes, right? Yep.
No
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so
Blessings
much,
to all
Master
y'all.
Ace.
Thank you,
So
guys.
much more.
Peace.
There's
All right,
so
y'all.
much more questions I can ask you, brothers, but I'll catch you at a later date. And thank you again, Master Ace.
You got it.
UG. Thank you for the opportunity for this interview.
Peace.
Salute.
No problem.
Ace, I'm gonna be with you next year. I need you on the
check
record,
out. We're gonna post the replay. We're gonna post it and send y'all the link when it's up again.
Perfect.
You got my back, UG.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
All right.
I'm coming at both of y'all for some beats. Master Ace, I'm coming at you for some beats, all right?
I don't have no beats. I haven't done beats in a long time.
Right.
I got no beats.
You can hit me though. I got some beats for you. Trust me.
Got you. All right. Got you.
If the NPC killer don't get at you.
Listen, we need to battle anyway, bro. Stop playing. I'm coming to see you, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right, Ace, salute. All right, UG, salute.
Thank you, UG.
Salute, everybody. Salute.
Talk to you soon. Yes. Peace.
All right, one love.
All
right.
Peace.
Salute.
No doubt. Another one out.
Another show.
One out the glass.
Yep. Post that up.
Oh, okay. Like life bounced out.
Yeah.
Yo, Mark Rip, good luck, man, for coming through. And
it was a good show.
Hold the shit down. Tonight's show was dope, right?
Tight.
I got some shout out. Oh, right here, Mark. Somebody shouted you right here. Can you see that?
Yeah, God, yeah. Tell him I said, yeah, peace.
He shouted you out. Big up to God for him. God for him. Shout out to God for him. Oh, check this out. This brother here. What up, Mark? You see him?
Yeah.
What up? Mark Live. He shouted out. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of shout outs in here. Oh, we got a private one. Who's this? Oh, that was you. Okay.
You gotta post the short when Masta Ace talks about he wasn't supposed to be on the Symphony.
Oh no, I'm gonna chop all that.
Chop that shit up. That's gonna get crazy views. That's a joke.
I'm gonna go crazy on it.
Yeah, no, it's a good show, man. You did it.
Chop some crazy shit up
on
here. But yeah, salute to everybody from Blog Talk Radio to YouTube and all that. Hey, yo, Mark Rip, if you gotta bounce out, Mark, you can. I'm gonna hold it down a few more minutes. If you gotta break out.
All right, tell it. I'll talk to you tomorrow, man. Peace.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, yo, good looking, y'all, for coming through and checking out my show. You see the Cash App is right there. Boom. Cash App is right there. Show love. Send your man a couple of dollars, $2, $3, whatever. I'm trying to come through with some real hip hop interviews. Like not only people that ain't got the status of a Masta Ace or a UG or what have you, or myself to come through to be professional, but I'm trying to bring on dope ass legend MCs. I'm trying to bring real MCs on, and I need y'all support. So support that Cash App. Show love, man. You know what I mean? Trying to represent and make things happen. And thank you all for coming through and showing mad love and listening. You know what I mean? So on the next go round, I'm gonna try to get at my man Mixmaster Ice from UTFO. Rest in peace to Kango Kid. You know, rest in peace to him. Shout out, you know, rest in peace to EMD, you know, brothers from UTFO. Rest in peace to Jesse D. Jesse D was a wild motherfucker. Jesse D, you know him from the Force MDs. Once was the Force MCs. Yeah, big up to Force MDs. Rest in peace to Jesse D. Yeah, uh, big up. So try to keep this shit live and keep it going, and just keep the real hip hop in general popping off. So usually I would start my show off with mathematics and all that. Didn't have a chance to, so much was going on. But yesterday, this is now 9, which is born. Today's math is 9, which is born, okay? But the show started yesterday, or a few minutes ago, before the clock strike 12. It was build or destroy. So I'm just going to build on yesterday's math of the Lodd Manafess show. So remember, build is the add on, destroy is the take away from. To build is to elevate the mentality. Within your mind. Of self, oneself. I elevate my mind and others around me. People that's in my cipher, to add positive energy to Allah's nation. You know what I mean? And also to destroy. I'm going to ruin your whole negativity. You know what I mean? I'm going to destroy the negativity. Tonight was nothing but positivity that, outweighs the positivity or the negativity, if you will, for the mathematics. To destroy is the ruin by allowing negativity to outweigh the positivity, but we let the positivity overthrow negative to keep this nice and well. So that was the yesterday's mathematics, but now today is born. You know what I mean? So I'll leave it to the gods. You already know what born mean and all that. So I'm the Lodd Manafess, Tashim Allah, and you know me as the NPC killer, Red Jacket Killer. So salute. I appreciate the love of y'all coming through. Once the podcast is ready, I'm gonna go back, post this. I need y'all to promote this podcast. Take it. Make sure y'all subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. Like everything. Send your $2 cash app, whatever you want to do. I'm slowly but for surely building this podcast, but I'm bringing on dope MCs. Not just independent artists, but I'm bringing on dope MCs and making shit happen. So salute to y'all, and we'll say peace over here on the YouTube channel. I'm still live on Blog Talk Radio, but peace.